What happens when the son of an ordinary farmer rises to challenge the king of an entire nation? A man who never wore a crown, but snatched it away from the one who did. Oliver Cromwell. Was he a hero or a tyrant? The Iron Lord. A man whom some called the savior of England, and some called a dictator. Oliver Cromwell, born in 1599 in Huntingdon. He was not from a noble family, nor from wealthy ancestors. He lived a small life, under debts and sickness. But inside, he carried one thing: belief in God. He believed he was on a divine mission. And then, the time for that divine mission truly came. King Charles I demanded absolute power without consulting Parliament. People opposed him. And then in 1642, civil war broke out. The Royalists, who stood with the king, and the parliamentarians, who stood against him. Cromwell stood on Parliament's side. At first, Cromwell was no general, but on the battlefield of the Civil War, he made his cavalry troops so strong that they were called the Ironsides. In 1644, at the Battle of Marston Moor, his cavalry charge broke the back of the Royalists. In 1645, at the Battle of Naseby, Cromwell's new model army completely shattered King Charles I's forces. The king was now helpless. His power was slipping away. For Cromwell and his soldiers, this was not just politics. This was a mission given by God. On a cold winter morning in London, when King Charles was giving his speech, in front of the crowd, the king stood on the scaffold, dressed in royal robes, in his majestic attire. The executioner's axe fell, and for the first time, an English king was killed by his own people. Behind this moment was Oliver Cromwell. He had not swung the axe himself, but through Parliament, it was he who forced the king's trial and execution. After that, England was never the same again. The monarchy ended. After 1649, Cromwell did not stop in England, but sent his army into Ireland and Scotland as well. In Ireland, the siege of Drogheda and the Wexford massacre of 1649 are remembered even today. Thousands were killed. Towns were burned. In Scotland, he won the Battle of Dunbar in 1650 and the Battle of Worcester in 1651, crushing the Royalist supporters. Now in England, there was no king, no queen. Only one title remained: Lord Protector of the Commonwealth. He refused the crown, but his power was no less than any king. He banned festivals, placed restrictions on alcohol and immorality, and tried to make the nation a godly republic. Some called him Moses, leading his people to freedom, and some began to see him as Pharaoh, a pharaoh who ruled with an iron fist. Cromwell ruled until 1658, but 2 years after his death, the monarchy returned. Charles II, the son of the king Cromwell had overthrown, returned to London. People welcomed him as if nothing had ever happened, and Cromwell, his body was dug out of the grave, hanged, and his head placed on a spike. Even in death, England could not decide, was Cromwell a savior or a traitor? Oliver Cromwell, the son of a farmer who went from executing a king to building his own army and founding a republic, left behind a legacy that still divides history. So now the question is for you: was Cromwell the liberator of England, or its greatest dictator?